What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, Bleacher Report put out an article suggesting 3 players that the Chicago Bulls could trade for, and these are all somehow connected back to Zach LaVine. Pretty much what package could the Bulls receive in a Zach LaVine trade? And then also on the later half of today's show, I've seen a lot of buzz around, Bulls Twitter and in the comments section that fans are starting to change their opinion on the Bulls trading Zach LaVine. So on the second half of today's show, I just want to make it crystal clear to you guys where I stand and pretty much give a take on why the Bulls, don't just want to trade LaVine, but I really think they need to trade LaVine. But I'll ask you guys this here first. Do you want the Bulls to trade Zach LaVine? If you are in the majority, just click that thumbs up icon. It'll single that yes, you do want to trade him. But if you don't want to trade him, comment your thoughts down below. I'm actually very curious. If you are in the camp that the Bulls should keep LaVine, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. I'll definitely reply to you guys. So let me know your thoughts if you guys want the Bulls to trade LaVine. So Bleacher Report put out 3 players that the Bulls could trade for. And the first player here was Los Angeles Lakers guard Austin Reeves. Now, I'll say this first. I don't think the Lakers want to move off Reeves whatsoever. I think, they would much rather give up D'Lo, Rui Hachimura, even a guy like Jared Vanderbilt. I think if they had 3 untouchables on the roster, it's probably Bron, AD, and Reeves, but maybe they view LaVine as a significant upgrade over a guy like Austin Reeves, so maybe they could try to, swing him in a package, maybe have the Bulls attach like that Portland Trailblazers first-round pick, but how Reeves would fit on the Bulls, I just don't understand the fit. And Bleacher Report actually said they love the fit of Reeves on the Bulls. I just don't like it too much. I'm not saying he's a similar player to Josh Giddey. Obviously, he's a way better scorer. He's a way better 3-level scorer. But, the Bulls already have a ton of guards. Like Giddey, obviously LaVine still on the roster. Like Kobe White, Ayo, Lonzo returning. I just think the Bulls, if they're going to try to get a player in a Zach LaVine trade, have it be a wing, have it be a big. Maybe you can get a LaVine and Vooch trade for a rim protecting, lob threat archetype of big man. But Reeves, I love him as a player. He's a very smart basketball player. 3 levels, navigates pick and rolls very, very well. But I just don't understand the fit on the Chicago Bulls. So Bleacher Report, I disagree with you on this. I don't think it would be a best fit for Austin Reeves to head to Chicago. But the second player they listed was actually Jordan Hawkins, who is a guy I am a massive fan of. He won a national championship at UConn, and he is a sniper from downtown. Actually, my pro comp for Jordan Hawkins coming out was another former UConn Husky, and that was Ray Allen. He's got a very similar jump shot. Now, this past season, he only shot it at 36.6%, which, he shot at a very high volume, so I will take that definitely. But I think he's a guy who, in 4 or 5 years from now, when we're talking about the best shooters in the NBA, I think Jordan Hawkins will be on that short list of guys. And, I would actually like his fit with the Bulls because still, I feel like on this entire roster, they don't have a true shooter. You got guys who can shoot the ball, but they don't have a guy who you're, send it down, pick down screens for them. They can just come off 1-2, rise up, and nail a jump shot. They don't have that. Like, Kobe White's a great 3-point shooter, but you're not really running pin downs for him. He's more of a creator with the ball in his hands, but you would add a guy like Hawkins next to a playmaker like Giddey. I mean, the offensive explosion in Chicago, it would, make for an entertaining brand of basketball, but I think this trade would probably be a Nikola Vucevic trade, as obviously the Pelicans do need a center. Like, in the preseason game yesterday, they were starting Daniel Tice. Are they going to be comfortable in the Western Conference having Tice be their starting center? They already went all in on DeJounte Murray, so maybe they use Hawkins as almost trade bait to go get Vooch. Obviously, it'd be tough to make the contracts match up, but if you could just give Vooch for Jordan Hawkins, I am taking that deal, and I am running with it. But we carry on to number 3 here. This was actually Jaden Ivey of the Detroit Pistons. So Bleacher Report's thoughts here were, the Bulls give up LaVine and a first, and then the Bulls in return get Jaden Ivey, who Jaden Ivey is a player who I'm a massive fan of. I loved him coming out of Purdue, true 3-level scorer. His athletic ability is through the roof. And, he was actually flexed out of the rotation last season with the Detroit Pistons. So I'm sure he's not the happiest in Detroit because when you're losing a lot of games, and plus on top of that, you're not really getting a lot of minutes, and you were a lottery pick who was supposed to be a cornerstone piece of this franchise turning around. But, him on the Bulls, again, I hate bringing another guard considering how guard heavy we truly are, but Jaden Ivey, Jordan Hawkins, I would take him if you are moving off LaVine and Vooch. You actually get a young prospect that you could potentially develop into a true rotational piece for this team in the future. So those are the three names that Bleacher Report listed, but you guys just got to give me one. Name a player that you want the Bulls to bring in or trade for. I'm going to have to, if I had to pick one of those guys, I think I'm going to go Jordan Hawkins over Jaden Ivey. I just like the more true shooter that Jordan Hawkins is. So those are my thoughts on it. But, hey, if you guys disagree with me, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section and name a player that you want the Bulls to trade for. We'll talk about trading Zach LaVine here in a second, but first off, I want to give a massive shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. And if you guys download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS, you guys will get $50. Yes, that is right, $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win to up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineup. So download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, let's talk about it. Why do the Bulls need to trade Zach LaVine? I got a long list of reasons, but mainly why I want to close the show with this is because I've seen some Bulls fans on Twitter change their tune on Zach LaVine just because of one quote or one training camp clip. Pretty much what is the backstory behind this is LaVine, he had a report about a month or probably about 2 weeks ago now where he was saying that he is fine with the direction the Bulls are heading, that he is embracing this youth movement. And some fans were like, oh, LaVine's all bought into this youth movement. Sign me up. And I will say this first. I love that LaVine is buying into the direction that this Bulls franchise is going. But I almost thought that he was just putting that out there, and his camp was putting that out there to make LaVine look more of like a team guy. Because right now, his reputation across, league circles is probably like he's a big me guy. He doesn't give a ton of effort on defense. He's not the best leader, not the best locker room guy. So I thought that was almost like Rich Paul and LaVine and their camp almost like putting out good PR for LaVine, not his true thoughts on where this Bulls organization is going. But, why trade him? One, we can start off with the contract. The contract's brutal, $43+ million over the next 3 seasons. Plus, if you were to trade him, the Bulls would have to take on that 15% trade kicker, which would be awful. But I think it would be worth it to move off his contract. And, also with the situation the Bulls are in right now, I was actually talking to a couple guys in the office. They were like, are the Bulls in the worst position out of any team in the NBA? And I was saying no, I would still probably put the Trailblazers or Wizards, ahead of them. But let's just say the Bulls, they keep LaVine and they end up with the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference for the 3rd straight year. That would be the worst case scenario for this franchise. Because one, you wouldn't get your first-round pick. That would head over to the San Antonio Spurs. And then 2, you would still have LaVine on the roster. We would be going over this whole same story next offseason about saying, oh, is this finally the offseason we trade LaVine? Is this finally the trade deadline we trade LaVine? I am still in the camp. You don't attach any of your own first-round draft capital to move off him, but you have that protected Portland Trailblazers pick. You got 2 second-round picks for the DeRozan sign-and trade. You attach those 3 picks, even if the team wants a 3rd second-round pick, you throw it in there. But I would do whatever it takes to get this man off the Chicago Bulls. It is nothing personal with him. I know I sound like a hater right now of Zach LaVine, but I'm just looking at this franchise to how do we get closer to winning championships again? And I think that starts with embracing this rebuild, embracing this youth movement, and moving off Zach LaVine is the start of it. And you already kind of made a move to the youth movement by trading Caruso for Giddey. If you are heading into the season saying we are going to win games, we are going to try to be competitive, why in the hell would you trade Caruso, a win-now piece, for Josh Giddey? Finish the job, finish the moves you already have made this offseason, and trade number 8. And, hopefully the Bulls will be relevant, again in the NBA. And also, if anybody from the Bulls front office is watching this show today, probably not, but I was looking up what NBA teams has the most primetime games this season. The Chicago Bulls are 26th. The Chicago Bulls. Chicago. When you think about basketball, you think about that city in the middle of the country. They have the 26th most amount of primetime games this season. It's a joke. The Bulls they're in a terrible position. But if you want to somehow get these fans bought in, you trade this man to whatever team will take on his contract and his talents. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. We'll see you guys next time. Go Bulls.